Hello listeners, welcome along to A Taste of Country with Lucia Butler. I've got two guests here beside me. I've got the lovely Marian Curry and Ally Harron. Welcome along, folks.
Nice to be here, Lucia.
Hello, Lucia. I was saying earlier on to Marian that you just look as nice and you sound as nice. You're such a wonderful woman. And you're doing an awful lot for country music.
Oh, yes, thank absolutely. You. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it, and it's nice to be over here on tour, Lucia, and we look forward to this little chat.
Absolutely, it's great to have you guys. Now tell me a little bit about, tell the listeners a little bit about yourselves. You're from Fermanagh.
Yes, I'm originally from Timor in County Fermanagh, and I've been in different places. I have lived here in England, and I've lived in Tenerife, and I've lived in Ireland, obviously.
Oh, you're fond of the sun, so you're fond of the sun. And what about you, Ally?
Well, Lucy, I go back a wee bit now. I used to play here in London years ago when the National in Kilburn was going at Gresham Hollow Road, the Forum in Kentish Town, all those, and the Odeon in Hammersmith, and the Galtymore. I was all over the place with a band called Tommy Fee and the Cajun Sound. That's in the late 1960s into the 70s. And then I joined another band, Ronnie Griffiths and Driftwood. And Ronnie was a keyboard player with the Mighty Avons show band. I'm sure you remember that.
Definitely the Mighty Avons, of course I do. But tell me, how did it come about that you're a duo now? How did it come about? Is there a special story to it?
Well, there's a little bit of a story. I came back to Ireland in 1997, I think it was. And I met up with Ally because we had known each other for way back, but hadn't seen each other for all those years. And he was a solo artist and I was a solo artist. So we kind of got together, and because we'd known each other from before, I suppose it sort of came easy for us to work together and start performing as a duo.
Well, it was by accident, actually, I suppose, to a degree. I've been playing around back in Ireland because I'm from a wee place called Derry Lynn originally. And
where's Derry Lynn now? You must tell the listeners.
Well,
county?
It's in County Fermanagh. It's in the far side of Inniskillen. It's about 10 miles from Inniskillen, actually, and it's also 10 miles from Dona. Mm-hmm. And why I mentioned Dona, because we're staying in London at the minute with a lovely friend of ours, Mr. John Joseph McCaffrey, a very nice, dear friend. He was a great footballer in his day, but now age is coming to him now. And
don't forget he was a drummer, Ally.
He was a drummer too in his day, that's right.
Yeah, John was a drummer back home, so he would have had a little taste of the music, and therefore he really appreciates the music. And
we know John as well. John's a lovely fella indeed, so a big hello to John as well.
The first time he practiced drums was he had a bucket and he turned it upside down and he used to drum that way. So he found out he had a talent. So, and he's good at carrying the gear.
Well, so, fair play to him. Was there a hole in that bucket, you know?
At the end of the day, there was a hole in that bucket.
Well, anyway, moving on. Marian, do you play a musical instrument at all? And
yeah, I play a little bit, maybe not wonderfully, but I do a bit on the keyboard, and I used to play rhythm guitar when I was a solo artist, and then do a little bit on harmonica as well. And right now, when we go out as a duo, I play the keyboard.
And just going back, I know, Ally, you play the guitar there and other instruments?
I play mean guitar, darling.
Okay.
A mean guitar. I play lead with a lovely Telecaster. I play mandolin, and I'm also learning the violin at the moment.
Really? You're learning now? So it's never too late for me even to learn the guitar.
I can play the G banjo string, the G string banjo.
Okay, very good, very good. And, okay, going back from when you were growing up, tell me, when did you realise that you really wanted to sing, Marian? When did you realise? Was it when you were a tiny little toddler?
Okay. Well, that was kind of easy because my dad was in a traditional band back home. He was in the original lineup of the Starlight Ceilidh Band in Timor, Derry Lynn. So therefore I would have grown up with it, and little sessions at home, traditional sessions, and then we had variety concerts at home in the local hall, and that all stemmed from when I was going to school. So I would have started, in the local hall, and then it stemmed into a little local band. We called ourselves the Blue Bells.
Can I just interrupt you, Marian, there? You know, when you were saying about growing up and all that, would you have come together in the pubs, in a circle around a fire and have the bit of crack and the music going? Would that have happened?
Not necessarily, not really, not in my case. My dad, rest his soul, he was a pioneer, so he never went to a pub. So we never had that kind of tradition. But very much like at home, when people used to have ceilidhs at home, that's where, you know, my love of music would have stemmed from.
And what about you, Ali? Would that have happened with you? I mean, my mum and dad was pioneers as well, and we kind of, the pub wouldn't have been our scene either, but certainly being a lover of music and all that, it would have happened down around Wexford, you know, the fire, in front of the fire, and people come around and they play the instrument and sing.
I mean, that was a big thing in our house as well, like the ceilidhs, like you mentioned in pubs, and at that time, pubs, we wouldn't know what a pub was like ourselves. Like,
so really it happened in the houses as well, perhaps, the gathering in the houses.
When we were doing dramas, and you know, when we were at school, the parish would be having dramas and festivals, and we'd be singing in the choir and all that sort of thing. There was no such thing as a mobile phone. If you mentioned that it was a foreign word, you wouldn't know what you were talking about. Like, because remember, we had no phone in the house that time either.
You're right.
And we're not that old, like, you know, even though. And
the television would be turned off when a visitor would come in, correct?
Well, not in our house, because there was no television in the house.
in the first place. As regards, there you go, that's live radio. We have a phone going off in the background. And tell me, you know, how did it become about? And you did say when you met up and all, but how many years, can I ask, that you're out there playing together as a duo?
No bother asking at all, Lucia. We're 16 years together, which is just
amazing.
It is amazing. But I would have celebrated 40 years actually in the actual business. You know, I started in 72 and last year 2012. I was 40 years in the business, but 16 years together.
Well, I thought you were only about 40 years of age in the first place.
That's such a kind thing. I don't mind letting your lovely listeners know I'll be celebrating my 60th birthday, please God, next April. The 23rd.
Unbelievable, Marian. Unbelievable, listeners. She doesn't look a day over 40, and that's the truth. That is the truth. And tell me, I know you have a few albums out there.
Mm-hmm. We have 4 albums in total at the moment, 3 DVDs, and our 5th album will be out sometime in May or June. And I know
you've done some singles there. There's some singles released, and we'll come to Marian in a minute. What was your last singles there that you had?
We've 2 duet singles out at the moment as well.
Size 7 Round was...
Yes, that's the last one, the duet, and then we had The Pieces Are Coming Together just before that. They're very popular songs, like, and I mean, I want to thank you very much for giving them some airspace. So I mean, there's a lot of good stuff on this new album. It's supposed to be about 12 tracks on it when it's finished, you know. It's hard work getting good songs for an album, you know. We have a couple of original songs on it, and so I do believe you're writing a wee bit yourself, because I heard one of your songs. It's really exciting.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you. You never know. Absolutely. Keep watching this space, I suppose.
Well, you have to keep doing these things and pushing them out there, because it's a lot more difficult now, because there's so many artists out there, like, and we're all trying to get a wee space in there, you know, to do, because we're touring a lot. We tour America as well, you see, and Spain and Portugal.
Okay. Just going back to Marian's song, which I absolutely love, I Cry Every Time I Leave Ireland. And it's a lovely song, and it's a very, very nice song. And I know Michael Commons wrote that song, didn't he? And Leona Williams put the music to it.
Yeah, I feel very lucky to have come across this little song, because I really, really like it. And I mean, I wouldn't have recorded a single since the 80s. So I think this single was long, long overdue. So I feel lucky to have come across this wee song, the lyrics written by Michael, and the music put together from Leona Williams, who I adore singing anyway. She's got the most wonderful, sweet, terrific country voice, and you never hear her name. You don't hear her music, which is such a shame, because she's up there with Tommy, Dolly, Emmylou. She really is up there, but never really got the recognition that she really deserves. So I am very happy to have come across this wee song, and it's making quite an impact back home in Ireland and in America. And I do appreciate all the requests coming in from all over the globe on your station, Lucia.
Well, I just have to say myself, I love that song, and I had the privilege of meeting Leona Williams down there in Wexford, and Lovely lady. I have to say, I was chatting to her. She took me away to the side for about half an hour, and there was loads of people around.
Yeah.
A lady, a pure lady, and you know it's true what you said. She doesn't get enough recognition. But has she recorded that song as well?
Yeah, she has recorded that song. That's really where I heard it. And when I heard Leona sing it, I thought, oh, I like that song. I'd like to do it as an Irish song. Well, of course she has done it as an Irish song as well, but I think the Irish voice, I think that's what really captured me. I thought, I've got to do this song, and I done it, and I'm just so happy, really happy and excited about it, which is nice to feel that way, you know.
Well, I'm excited to play it because I think it's a lovely song, Marian, the best of luck with that. That will be on the forthcoming album, won't it?
It will, yeah.
It will indeed. And tell me, anything else in the near future happening?
Yeah, we're looking forward to, well, we're going to be back in England in March for St. Patrick's weekend, and we will be back in England in April. But then we are also really looking forward to our third annual country weekend in Donegal. That's the 24th, 25th and 26th of May. That's nice to be lining up with Mick Flavin, Robert Mazzell, Sean Corrigan and Francis Smith and John Glenn and lots of other wee acts as well. We look forward, that's kind of our highlight of the year now, and of course going back to America in October. I don't know if Ali wants to add to that.
Does anyone get any sleep at that weekend? I can't imagine they would.
No.
Absolutely not at all. The last year we saw the sun come up in Donegal Bay every morning.
Oh, say no more. Ali, what have you got to add to that?
Well, the music goes on day and night, you know, so I mean it's a fantastic weekend, and it's only 199 sterling.
Okay.
For 3 nights B&B.
Yeah, yeah.
And dinner included.
Oh, dinner. Very good.
And the cheese and everything else to do on dinner.
And the biscuits.
And brown bread.
Oh, lovely.
And breakfast.
Yeah, breakfast, of course, you have to have a wee bit of breakfast, because if the sun is coming up, you can have your breakfast and then go to bed by the sounds
and
of it.
you could meet the love of your life there too, because I know somebody that did, and they're looking for us to play at the wedding now.
Are you serious?
Yes. So we're very excited about that.
Oh, very good.
So, I mean, all sorts of things happen at these weekends, you know.
I might go to that weekend, so...
Well, you'd be more than welcome, Lucia. But before we go, I want to take this opportunity to thank Pat Garrett and everybody and all the presenters at irishcountrymusicradio.com, and of course a big thank you and good wishes to all your lovely listeners globally, and your listenership and your requests, it's everything. It means everything to us as entertainers.
Because we have got people talking about you, actually.
Me?
You, with the blonde hair. Isn't that you,
Really?
Lucia Butler? Your name, isn't it?
It is indeed. So you have people listening to my shows?
Yes, we've been speaking to people because we play in New York and Pennsylvania. And
Start spreading the news about irishcountrymusicradio.com.
Well, your voice and all the DJs out there are very good, but...
Yeah, they're all a great crew of Irish Country Music Radio.
Because you interview us and you give us time.
Yeah, well, it's part.
I know, well, I appreciate that, but we're a very busy couple. So, I mean, it's getting us at the right time.
Well, yeah.
And to be able to do it in this gentleman's house. Mr.
Yeah,
John.
we're here in John's house at the minute. But you know what? It's an absolute pleasure to be able to pull you in and interview you. And I did see you briefly there last night. But, you know, did see you were a great duo, and long may you have that successful career, really.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you very much, Lucia. God bless you.
And can I just add, will you please keep it country?
I will give you country. And tell me, is there anyone else you want to say hello to that may be listening into the interview? You know? Anyone else you want to say hello to?
I know my daughter's listening in there in Boston. And we've friends up in Yonkers in New York there. So, I mean, hello, good day to them. I know there's a 5-hour difference. They're 5 hours behind us. So, I mean, they're listening into you all the time, actually.
Very good.
Because when you come on and it's running all the time, they're tuned into it because it's so simple, you know, to get into it now. And
24/7, it's absolutely great, really, the station.
It's unbelievable, actually.
Yeah, 24/7, different parts of the world, different presenters, do different shows. So that brings a taste to everybody.
Music, funny enough, and yet it's country music. Like. So, I mean, it's not easy getting that now. I mean, I think it must be the only internet program that's doing that, like, you know.
Well, that's
so I am happy, all excited about that, because it gives us great energy to keep going on to do what we do.
Oh, well, it keeps a smile on your face. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Well,
to keep everyone happy. You know, it's very important.
But when you're at it a long time, like, I'm not playing music for I don't know, many years now, like I forget near how long, but I mean, it's a big thing to get because it's never been out there, the country music on the stations, like, you know.
On 24/7, but there again you have all the lovely loyal listeners there as well, and there's listeners out there that we never know are listening in, so I'd like to say a big thank you to all of them as well. We do have people sending emails, but also we have the silent listeners as well, which each and every one of those people are most important, and then they request all the music of the artist in particular that they like. So
when I had somebody contact me from Australia because they heard that song that Marian had out, and they just wanted to know had we any other material, because they didn't know exactly who we were, but they just pumped in Ally Harron, and our information came up on the net, so we were able to make that contact and send over material to them. So, I mean, that in itself is a big thing, isn't it?
yeah, well, usually at the beginning of my show, I know in particular, I'll introduce a song and then I will say the name of the artist again at the end, because I know people would like to know. You might come in the middle of that song,
course,
so it's very important to do that, I think, as well. And it's a circle, and I just would like to wish you every success. I know you are rushing out the door here now to go on stage elsewhere, but well done, and may you have continued success. And this album in May, we look forward to receiving it when it's out. What's the name of the album?
Well, we haven't put a title on it just yet, Lucy, until we get all the music together and have a wee listen back. I'm not sure what we're going to call it. Maybe we'll just call it Lucky.
Yeah, well, I tell you, it will be good anyway. It will be good.
Thank you very much.
But no problem. Thanks a million. Okay, so listeners, hope you enjoyed the interview from Lucia Butler.
Ally Harron speaking.
And God bless you all from Marian Curry.
I hope you all enjoyed that interview. Take care and God bless.